Hi guys, I'm going to give you a quick demonstration using the steps I provided you for creating your first soft chalk lesson. And the topic that I'm going to choose is how to plan the perfect vacation, because that's something that's near and dear to my heart right now because I'm in great need of a good vacation. You can choose whatever topic you want. So let's get to it. The first thing I'm going to do, I have soft chalk open, and I'm just going to go ahead before I do anything and save my soft chalk. So File, Save As. And you need to be sure you save it somewhere where you're going to remember, that way you can find it later. And I'm going to name it Baker last name underscore SC underscore experiment. Okay, and I'm going to hit save. Okay, and the first thing I'm going to do is set up my headings and subheadings. So I've kind of already thought about what I want my soft chalk to look like. So I'm just going to type in my headings. Oops. I've got an introduction. What is a vacation? Determine your budget, and I've got just a few other, I've already typed this up in a Word document, so I'm just going to paste those headings. So these are all of my headings, and to turn them into headings, I'm going to highlight them and turn them from plain text into headings. That headings are what sort of breaks up your soft chalk into sections later, so that's why headings are important. All right, so now if I have any subheadings, I could add those in. So for example, actually, let's do, forgot determine logistics. That's actually going to be a heading 1, and then I want to do a subheading under that. So these are all subheadings of determining the logistics. So I'm just going to highlight those and do heading 2, and that makes those subheadings. You'll notice they're smaller. Okay, so that's my headings and subheadings. Next, I'm going to set up the style properties. So in order to do that, I'm going to click on properties up here and style properties. You'll notice I have the styles tab and the layout tab, or the title and layout tab. So I want to choose my style first, so I can just choose from any of the pre-formatted styles here, and I want to see if I can find one that's somewhat vacation-like in nature. Not really seeing anything that just blows me away, but I'll go ahead and choose this blue one because it reminds me of water, and that is definitely where I want to be, on the beach. All right, so I've chosen my my style, and now I want to give it a title and a layout. So my title is going to be Planning the Perfect Vacation. Subtitle, what you need to know. You don't have to have a subtitle, but I like to have one. You can choose options here for footers. I usually don't do that. It automatically populates this, and you can change it to have your name here. Here's where you set up your sidebar layout, and we'll talk a little bit about this later, but you can go ahead and select what you want to do here, and like I said, you can change it later. So I'm just going to leave that alone and say okay. All right, so now we need text in between each heading, right? So I've kind of already typed up a little bit of text to add here. Your introduction should always kind of direct your learners as to what they're going to see in the lesson. Okay, underneath my next section, I want to provide the definition of a vacation. I'm just going to paste that there. Let's see, determining budget and destination. Just kind of put our text in. This actually. So you can see, you can just kind of play with your text here. It's really easy to copy and paste text in, or type it in if you like. So again, just typing in my content. Finally, under here. And I'm going to add a picture under the next section. So that is the content in between the headings. All right. The next step says add page breaks between each section. So what I'm going to do is put my cursor before the next section starts, and on my keyboard I can either hit Control Enter, which is going to automatically put a page break, or I can say insert page break. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Oops. Between each section. And that's going to create the different pages for my lesson. Okay. Now that I've got this, I definitely want to save. In fact, I probably should have saved even earlier, just in case your computer crashes. You don't want to lose what you've typed. Now it says add at least 3 images to your soft chalk. So I'm going to add an image here using this image button, and I'll browse and find an image on my computer. I believe I've saved one as vacation, and select. Say OK. It's a little large, so I'm going to just pull it down a little bit. Let's see, so you're going to do 3 of these images, and a good place to find images, just really quickly, is on Microsoft.com. You can click on Office Clip Art and search for images. Then you can sort over here by type. So say I want a photo. I can find a good picture of a vacation, and I can save the image straight to wherever. I kind of like to save to my desktop and then figure things out later. But you may have a folder structure set up that you like to use. So again, I can just insert an image that I've pulled down from the internet. There it is. I'll go ahead and give this one a border. Say OK. Actually, I don't want to give it a border, so I'm going to modify, right click the image, modify it, and take the border off because that doesn't look really good. Okay. Let's go ahead and do an image here. I'll just find one on Microsoft Clip Art called Suitcase. Save it. And these images are free to use, so they're you don't have to worry about copyright or anything like that. So we'll enter that image as well. Sometimes you need to resize your image before you insert it. And you can do that with the Microsoft Picture Editor. Oh, what did I say that one is? There it was. I forgot to give it a name, but here it is. So there's my 3 images. All right, next it says to embed a YouTube video. So I'm going to go out to YouTube and see if I can find something to use.
If you're a beach lover, it's definitely better in the Bahamas, and we've got your number. It's 17. That's how many beaches there are in Nassau Parish.
Let's see if it'll let me share these videos. Here we go. So I'm going to share.
Hospitality everywhere you look in Nassau.
And again, when I hit share, I'm going to click on embed and find the embed code and right click and copy it and go back to my SoftChalk. Let's see. I'm going to put that under the enjoy section. So I'm going to insert a widget and paste my HTML code here. All I did was click on paste HTML and say okay. And I'm going to save now that I've done all this work. Okay, I need to turn this video off or I'm going to get jealous. All right, next it says insert at least 3 interactive activities or quiz poppers to your SoftChalk. And I've provided you with refreshers on how to do that, but I'll go ahead and add something in really quickly. So I'm going to insert an activity and I'll just do, I don't know, let's do a flashcard. And so I'm going to create a new flashcard and the name of this activity will be Don't Forget Your Pets. So we'll put Penny, and she is the older Yorkie. I'll just describe her and say okay. I'll do another card and we'll call it Willow. Okay, and then finally let's just say alright, so I've got 3 flashcards there. You can create up to I think up to like 20 flashcards. And you have some options that you can, play with here, but it's pretty simple to set up a flashcard activity. So I'm going to say okay, and it puts the activity where the student looking at this lesson is going to have to click on it to get to it. I usually like to embed it, so I'm just going to modify it and click on options, and I would like to display inline so that it automatically shows up. So there's my placeholder for my activity. I'm going to save it. All right, now it says save, and so once I'm saved, I can preview the SoftChalk in my browser. So I'm just going to go ahead and click preview, and you'll see here I have my SoftChalk. So it has my title that I set up, it has my theme applied, and you'll see it has my page break. So it created 7 different pages, and here are my titles. So I can click on next to get to the next pages of the lesson. Here is my SoftChalk activity, and I forgot to give it a title, but you can see it shows the term, and then you can see the definition. Under those options I could change it to where it shows the definition and then it has to show the term. So let's go back, now that I see something I want to change, let's go back to the SoftChalk and fix that. So I'm going to modify this, and I want it to show the definition first and say okay. And I also want to give it a name. So I'm just going to give it a name, and I'll make that a heading 2 and save that. The other thing I suggested that you look at was to practice changing the style and layout options so you can see the differences in that. So remember our preview, we go back to the first page. Depending on whether or not you have subheadings, it creates an on this page menu. You have this menu at the top, you have previous and next, and you also have a table of contents. That's kind of a lot of different ways to navigate. So say I want to turn some of that off. I'm going to go back to SoftChalk, click on Properties, Style Properties, and on the Layout tab, I'm just going to choose to take that drop down menu at the top of the page off. I'm going to go ahead and leave everything else. So that'll be a little less confusing in terms of navigation. So I'm going to save those changes. But practice changing the different navigation elements and going back and previewing the difference. So now if we preview, you'll see I don't have that drop down table of contents anymore. It's just sequential. So they just click on next or previous to get to the next sections. All right, so now that, let's see, it says add any other elements or edits to make your SoftChalk lesson better. So be sure you preview every page, check your links, check your activities, make sure they work, make sure your images look good, make sure your video shows up and you can play it, and then go back to your SoftChalk and make changes here and practice saving and previewing to toggle back and forth.